With the current atrocity of the prices of SSD and RAM in 2026, the question that stays on my mind every time before I go to bed: can you still build a $1,000 gaming PC that is good? Well, to find out, I spent the last 3 to 5 hours of my day researching for PC parts and seeing what is the best gaming PC that I can build for $1,000 that also still looks good, because I like things to look good. So in this video, we're going to be building a $1,000 gaming PC that you can build at home as well, that can run any video game we throw at it, at least in 1440p. But before we actually can build this PC, we need to order the parts. So let me show you what I'm going to be ordering. Now, what I've noticed right away, that Newegg is doing a lot of bundles where you can save on multiple parts and they'll throw in an SSD or something like that to entice you to buy other parts. But they're actually pretty good deal. For example, this is a bundle for $410 that gets you a motherboard, a CPU, and 1TB SSD and a CPU cooler. And on top of that, you get an extra $40 off. For the motherboard, they're giving you the Gigabit B850 Eagle Wi-Fi 6. It's a micro ATX motherboard that's going to fit in the case that we're going to put it in. For the CPU, we're getting the AMD Ryzen 5 9600X. So the latest Gen AM5 CPU, which is going to be a really good GPU for gaming. And on top of that, you're getting a Samsung 990 Pro 1TB of M.2 SSD for all of that bundled together. Now, you see, you also get $40 off of this price. So the CPU price will come down to $180 plus a free 240mm AIO to go with it. This one is from Cooler Master and it looks pretty nice. So that is the bundle we're gonna go with. Now that we got all those parts out of the way, next we have RAM.
Hey, this is me from the future. I actually did not buy this RAM stick, but instead I found a dual RAM stick kit that was $20 more to give us better performance from our PC, and I'll show it later in the video.
We're also gonna be going with this $50 case from Thermaltake. Thermaltake is a pretty solid brand. It has like a wood accent on the front, on the bottom. It comes with 3 RGB fans, and this case is only $49. It's a micro ATX PC case, so it's not gonna be huge, but also it's not gonna be very small. Now for the last two parts, first we got a power supply, and this one I actually found on Amazon, and I wanted it white so it can match the rest of the PC setup. So I found this one. This one is from a PVA ATX PR600, gold certified, so pretty good spec all overall, and it looks pretty good to me. 600 watts is more than we need, so $54, we're gonna add that. And then the last part is actually from Best Buy. Now, you don't have to buy the GPU from Best Buy. I just found the cheapest white 9060 XT 16 gigs model from Best Buy. So you can buy this one from Amazon for like $450, but from Best Buy right now it's $429, which sums up everything for us for $1,090. Now, here's the thing. You guys can save even more money. A lot of these parts can be found used for much cheaper on eBay or on Facebook Marketplace. So my recommendation for you guys, if you don't want to spend the same exact amount of money as that, is go to Facebook Marketplace, buy an older GPU with higher spec, or buy an older CPU with higher spec, like an 8-core or something, and then just go from there. But now that we've ordered all the parts, we gotta wait. Okay, all the PC parts have arrived, and surprisingly, it only took like 2 days, so Newegg is doing good these days. But now it's time to actually build the $1,000 PC that we ordered. Okay, first thing we gotta do is actually bring a mouse pad, because I like to build my PCs on mouse pads. For some reason, I believe it actually makes it more safe. There's really no proof to any of that. All made up in my head, but it's worked. Every PC I've built has been okay for the most part. Anyway, we're gonna take the motherboard out. The motherboard that we went to, again, is the B850 Eagle Wi-Fi 6E, this one right here from Gigabit. It was pretty much the one that was bundled with the CPU that we got for the deal. Bro, I was about to break it. Carefully remove your motherboard from the box. And what I like to do is actually just build or prep the motherboard on the box that it came with. This is way nicer than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like a really cheap motherboard, but honestly, this is not bad. Next, we're gonna install our CPU. Again, we went with the AMD Ryzen 9600X. Great CPU. It's gonna be a 6-core CPU, and I mean, it's pretty much one of the better CPUs that you can get for gaming, especially since it's AMD. Too bad we weren't able to get an X3D version, but we had very limited budget. Anyway, take the CPU carefully. Again, so pretty. And then we're gonna come in here, open up the socket, and I'm just gonna drop where the corner, there's a corner on the CPU right here. There's a corner on the socket that matches it. All we're gonna do is grab, drop, don't break it. I think it's good. Let's see, didn't bend, didn't bend. Yep, all good. All right, once it's there, we're gonna push down the socket holder and gently put this lever under. Now our CPU is good to go. Now that we got our CPU, we're gonna install our very expensive 16 gigs of RAM. We got the T-Force Team Group, no RGB, just all black. 2 sticks at 6,000 mega transfers running. And these 2 sticks used to cost like, I don't know, $80 6 months ago, and they are $200 right now. which is really so sad, honestly. But these bad boys right here, they're like your typical, very popular sticks that everybody uses on their PC build. So what we're gonna do is insert them in here. We're gonna use the 2nd and 4th channel. That way we can get the best speeds out of our motherboard and out of our RAM. Much better. All good. And again, now we're done with our RAM. Next, we got our SSD. For the SSD, we went with the Samsung 990 Pro. This is a 1 terabyte SSD. It came part of the bundle, and it runs at 7,400 megabits transfer for read and write. Well, actually, this is just read. What is the write? It's pretty good. Oh, I don't even think we need a screw, but we do need to remove the plastic from the back here. Grab the SSD, insert it the right way, not the wrong way like I was about to do. And this is a latch. Okay, that's cool actually. This motherboard has a toolless install for the M.2 SSD. You just latch it on there. Kind of surprising. For the price, that's actually a pretty high-end feature that usually does cost more. So I am kind of surprised, not gonna lie. And it does come with a heatsink also for the SSD. That's another plus in my opinion. But this pretty much prepares our motherboard. A big pile of trash right there. That's how it always goes for me, but yep. Okay, now we can prepare our case. This case is the Thermaltake View 170 in white and RGB snow. That's the mode. This thing was only 50 bucks, which is concerning. I'm not gonna lie, because it looks way nicer than 50 bucks, but Thermaltake is a good brand and they make pretty good cases. So I don't know what we're gonna be getting with this one. Hopefully a PC case. Oh, wow. Okay, this might be a steal right here. Check this out. 50 bucks. Not gonna lie, this is pretty sick for 50 bucks. You get this wood down here, these wood panels, this full panoramic glass, and you get 3 ARGB fans. So you get 2 ARGB fans right here and 1 in the back, included for the 50 bucks. I don't know how they did it, but they did it, and it's actually really nice. There's no way. This is a toolless case. I didn't even have to take a screw out to take this out. This is crazy. How are they doing this? And yeah, in this economy, how are they giving us a $50 PC case? Does the front panel go out too? Okay, this is actually crazy. Okay, anyway, moving on. Grab our power supply. That's what we need next. Where the heck is the power supply? I did buy a power supply, right?
I saw it somewhere.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it was just hiding. Anyway, our power supply, we went with the Prestige Apivia power supply. This was $55. Its only negative thing that it's not modular, so all the cables will have to be shoved in the bottom with a PC case. Wow, for $50. To be able to get white power supply with white power cables is kind of pretty good. Anyway, what is the wattage in here? What did I buy? We did buy the 600 watt Prestige. This is 80 gold plus, so it is gonna be a pretty good, especially for the price. I'm not really complaining because it was the only white power supply that I can find with white power cables that's not gonna cost us $80 to $100. But you can see all the cables are just pre-plugged. You can't really take some out, but it is what it is. Anyway, all we gotta do is basically grab this. Oh my gosh, this is light. Here.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy. And we are gonna shove it down yonder. All right, grab the motherboard, put it in the bottom, shove it in. Huh?
You said motherboard.
Oh, the power supply. And show it who's boss. Where's the holes? Show me the holes.
What do you mean by that?
Found the holes. Make sure the fan is facing out so the air from the power supply can actually exit and you don't burn your entire house down. LTT screwdriver, best screwdriver you'll ever screw with. It will drive your screws so crazy that you should get this screwdriver. Okay, our power supply's in. We're good to go. Literally a mountain of cables back here, like the fan cables and all of the stuff that we will need. But we don't have to worry about that right now. We'll leave this here. This is all the cables that we'll need. We'll clean this mess in a second. But first, we need to install the AIO and the motherboard in here, and then we can route all the cables and plug them all in. As you guys remember, this AIO actually came with the CPU. So when we bought the CPU, for some reason, it was a free AIO. So I am gonna take it, and I'm not gonna complain. It is black though, which is gonna ruin our aesthetics of the PC. But $1,000 is pretty much a budget that is pretty tight. So to be able to get the specs and the aesthetics is kind of hard. So we're gonna act like it's white and enjoy it. But this one does look nice. It does come with 2 ARGB fans, which should match the rest of our PC build. Okay, this AIO comes with the fans pre-installed. That's pretty nice. And it actually looks kind of cool. Look at this, it looks pretty nice. All of the cables that we need are here. But before we mount it, we're gonna make sure all the cables that we need are actually connected. That way we're not trying to shove our fingers in places that should not be shoved in. Fan 1, fan 2. Okay, that's good. Our cables are wired for what we need, and this is all gonna be at the top wired over there. All right, we're gonna run the cables from here. The cables are not cooperating. Oh, An extra hand showed up. AIO is attached. Okay, once we remove the bracket that comes with AM5, we're gonna grab the screws that come with AIO. We're gonna install those on here. And then we're gonna put the motherboard inside of the PC case. Okay, now we can actually install the motherboard in here. So what we gotta do is I like to lay my PCs down to make them feel a little bit, you know, easier to insert the motherboard in. And we are just gonna slowly bring this thing down here and then align the back shield. Make sure there's no cables under it. Align all of this just like that. And pretty much make sure all of the holes are matching, and then we can install our screws in here that I just dropped on the ground. Great. Anyway, here's all the screws. That's a lot of screws. And we're gonna grab the motherboard ones, which is usually the flat ones like this, and get rolling on this thing. Get ready for some ASMR. All right, now that our motherboard is secured, we're gonna install the AIO on here nicely. The cool thing is that this one came with the thermal paste pre-installed on it. So we are just gonna align it, grab the screws, which are these, and install them one at a time. Now that the motherboard is installed, the AIO is installed, we gotta connect all the cables that we're gonna be needing. So I'm gonna spare you all of that pain of that and just cut to where we're installing the GPU. All right, everything is plugged into the motherboard. I did you guys a favor and I did the bare minimum of cable management. You are very welcome. I usually don't even do this step, but a little bit better now. Still looks like garbage, but we'll take it. Now the last step that we have right here is obviously the GPU. This one right here is the one we got, is the 9060 XT. I was able to get this, I think, on Best Buy, I wanna say, and it was $429, the most expensive part of our PC build. But this GPU is gonna match the aesthetics and is gonna get us incredible performance at 1440p and at 1080p. If you come here, I have the same exact model by the 9070 XT in my personal rig, and this is the 9060 XT 16 gig model. And now for the most exciting part that you all are here for. I didn't break it, right? Okay, GPU is installed and it is plugged in. Okay, that might have been the fastest time I've had building a PC, which was an hour and a half, and that includes filming. For the question of truth, will it boot from the first time? Let's get a monitor and see if it does. We haven't tried to turn this PC on. If this works, I'm gonna come and kiss you. I'm talking about you. Yes. Ready? Where's the power button? Oh, it's up here. Ready? We installed the AIO wrong. It's sideways. It still looks good though. I'm gonna keep it like that. Dude, the RGB's sick. Did anything happen? Oh! Bro, I am a professional. I'm quitting my job and I'm going to work for somebody who builds PCs. Wait, that's what I do. It looks good. Moving on. Okay, we've installed Windows, we've installed all the drivers that we need on this PC. By the way, make sure to like this video and maybe we'll end up giving this PC to one of you guys soon. So make sure to subscribe for that, okay? Okay, first game we're gonna be testing is Fortnite. We plugged the PC into a 1440p monitor and we are playing with DirectX 12 at 1440p, FXA enabled, no upscaling, 100% resolution. We're looking at high settings, as you can see right here, and we are getting anywhere 130 to 150 FPS in that range. The game is very, very playable, and this is at 1440p, so at 1080p, you obviously can get way more frames than this, but honestly, I would play at this because 140 FPS is great for me personally. So yeah, now obviously you can also change the settings to do upscaling and get more FPS, but if you want to play at true 1440p, we can see that I can do this. And honestly, how many times did I just say honestly? Whoa, what is this thing? What is that? Oh, that's it. Oh wait, it launches stuff, dude. Okay, that's kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. Whoa, somebody's here. Let me get it. I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. Wait a second. Where's somebody else? Oh crap, oh crap. I placed number 94. Beat that. Okay, let's go to a game that I'm better at. How about that? Fortnite, get out of the window. Something a little more intense at 1440p, we're gonna be running Forza Horizon 6. This game is very beautiful graphically, challenging to any GPU, so let's see what we can get FPS on this game. Okay, in Forza Horizon, we're running at 1440p. FSR is disabled, there's no upscaling. In our graphics settings, we come back here, we are playing at high settings. High settings all around. Let's see the FPS number. Oh my gosh, bro. You see that?
Hi.
Bro, I can actually drift on keyboard and mouse. Holy smokes, I'm better than like on my wheel. What the heck? Bro, 160 FPS and 1440p? What the flip?
What the heck is wrong with Fortnite?
Bro, it's broken. Holy smokes, it looks good. Look at these combos, bro. Oh my gosh, I'm about to do 180, bro. Yeah, almost. Wow, that's actually crazy. It looks good though. Okay, Forza Horizon 6 got dominated by this PC. $1,000 PC, we're getting over 160 FPS in 1440p, no upscaling. That is actually quite impressive. Anyway, next, our file test, Cyberpunk 2077. The most demanding, one of the most demanding games out there. It's just a load.
But
600. Okay, settings. Let's see. Graphic. No, we don't need. There's no ray tracing here. Okay, we're gonna play on. I don't want to be too ambitious here. We're gonna play on medium settings. AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution set to auto. FSR 2.1 enabled. We're not gonna get too crazy here. Okay. Medium settings to high settings. That's what we're looking at. Can you see this? Okay. I'm gonna say like 90 FPS. I told you. Oh my gosh, it's actually crazy.
whoa, it's like responsive.
160 FPS? Bro, this $1,000 PC is crazy good. It's insane. It looks good. I mean, this is with upscaling. So, okay, hypothetically, we turn off upscaling and just play medium to high settings. It still looks really good. 105 FPS. Okay, so we're at 105 FPS with no upscaling, medium to high settings at 1440p. We are obviously hitting a cap because our CPU utilization is at 50%, which means the GPU is running at 100. It's giving us all the frames it can give us at this resolution. So it dominated 1440p. This PC played every single game we threw at it. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of exceeded my expectations. Okay, the crazy thing is we just turned the settings all the way to high and ultra, the highest you can play with upscaling off at native 1440p, and the game is still getting 75 FPS. It looks insane. So Cyberpunk, highest settings, no upscaling, 1440p. This $1,000 PC is able to run 80 FPS. Watch this. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll leave the link, all of these parts down below in the description. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.